Hi, good morning, everyone. Hey, Om, how are you? Amit is there. Bhumika, Janvi, how are you guys doing? A very good Saturday to all of you. Last two sessions with us on the live classes for BCK. Syllabus already done, almost there. Chapter 6, we're doing that. Five chapters already done and dusted. Revision done and dusted, right? Hey, Rohani, how are you? Mohit, Pratyush, Shreya. Good to see a lot of people turning up. Hi, Shreya, Sakshi, Amrit, Vidisha, how are you? Shreyas. Chanchal is there, Sonam, Priyanka. Good to see all of you. I see a lot of emojis as well. Cool. Any questions, any doubts, please feel free. We always spend the first 1 or 2 minutes in the class to solve and understand any problem that you're facing in the syllabus, any questions, any doubts that are concerning you. If you do not understand a particular concept, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, please do mention that. Please call that out. You have another 4 hours with me today and tomorrow. Use this to get as many questions out of me as you can, or as many answers out of me as you can. Great. I see a question from Subhadeep. Thanks, Subhadeep, for asking a question. That is, what is the meaning of privatization of companies? Subhadeep, that simply means when the government wants the private business persons, right, to take up businesses and not do business themselves. For example, MTNL, right? Earlier, there used to be MTNL landlines and VSNL and all those government-based telecom companies. Now they have pushed that these companies that they have let Geo take over, they let Airtel take over. So these are privately owned companies. So this is called privatization of a particular industry or a privatization in the country, where private businesses come and do business and government supports them rather than government doing a business. Okay, that's called privatization. Another great question from Priyanka. How am I? I'm good, Priyanka. Thank you so much. All right. Delegation और displacement difference हिंदी में चाहिए हमें तो आपको बिल्कुल बता देंगे सर. डेलीगेशन का मतलब होता है कि आप किसी और से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देके काम करवा रहे हैं. यू आर डेलीगेटिंग दैट. ठीक है, आप किसी और से काम करवा रहे हैं, काम आपका है. आपको फ्लाईओवर बनवाना है, बट यू गेट अ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर. आप कॉन्ट्रैक्टर से जाके बनाते हैं, राइट? यू गिव दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टू समबडी एल्स. किसी और से करा रहे हो, डेलीगेट कर रहे हो. डेलीगेशन. Displacement is when you stop competing with somebody else, you let them displace you. आप किसी और से compete करना बंद कर देते हो and you let other person win. So like for example again MTNL for that matter, or LIC also now. LIC is more aggressive, but still it's letting the private insurance companies displace it, right? It's called displace. हम नहीं लड़ेंगे, आप आके हमें बंद करवा दीजिए ताकि अब प्राइवेट कंपनीज काम करेंगी, सरकार नहीं काम करेगी. दैट इज कॉल्ड डिस्प्लेसमेंट. तो डेलीगेशन काम सरकार के करवा दूसरों से रहे हैं. डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज लड़ नहीं रहे हैं मार्केट में, जो हो रहा है होने दो, हम compete नहीं करेंगे. दैट्स कॉल्ड डिस्प्लेसमेंट. ओके, दैट्स इन हिंदी. सुपर. Wow, Vishal says we know everything. You ask questions. Vishal, I'm going to ask tough questions then. Okay. We have done so much revision. You want more questions? I will give you more questions. I don't mind giving you more questions. Okay. Arbitration क्या होता है? We'll study that today as well. But arbitration is arbitrary क्या होता है, right? Hedging क्या होता है? Arbitrage क्या होता है? Just like we thought, when the same particular product has different prices in two different markets, you use this gap to make money. For example, I'll give you a very basic one. Let's say samosa. Okay, you go and buy a samosa from a halwai in your area for 10 rupees. Okay, but the samosa in the gully next to you is for 15 rupees. Okay, so you figure out, if I buy from here and sell there, I can make 5 rupees on this samosa. This is called arbitration. This is called arbitrage. So difference in of price in the same product, using that gap of difference to make money. That's called arbitrage. People do this in gold, people do this for rice, people do this for dal, people do this for silver, platinum, all these ornaments, right? This is called arbitration. What is basket trading? We did basket trading is using all the stocks of the Sensex or Nifty to in the same weightage to make your own basket of trading those equity shares or listed company shares. Okay. एग्जाम में कैलकुलेटर, दोस्त थ्योरी पेपर में कैलकुलेटर का क्या करोगे? बट कैलकुलेटर्स आर अलाउड in certain examinations. It is allowed. Accounts mein, how will you do a summation of 7 lakh in at a depreciation of WDV of 5%? How will you calculate written down value at 5% in accounts? You will need a calculator anyway, right? The rankings in chapter 3 module BCK capsule are different years in that 21 summer 22. That's more for information. Okay, Prem, I had mentioned that chapter 3 is an interesting chapter for more from a knowledge perspective. Remember the names, remember the portfolio, remember the story of the business. Please do not scratch your heads, waste your time on the rankings and the year of ranking. Very rarely asked. Okay, very rarely asked, because every year it keeps changing. Okay, so it's a controversial ranking if I ask that in an examination. But again, you should know, like Forbes की ranking होती है company की, just like शाहरुख खान is ranked number 1 by Filmfare, तो companies को Forbes rank करता है, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Okay, that is more important. Is MTP important for scoring in all subjects? Absolutely. Model test paper के बिना आप क्या करोगे? That's telling you how the exam is going to be, right? We'll do that. Okay, Lisa Rani, पूरा chapter ही पूछ लिया आपने. Yeah, you should go back to chapter 5 and look at that entire chapter again, because what is NABARD is a non-funding government is a funding government organization working in agriculture sector. Okay, cool. So one is asking, is there negative marking? That's a question to your friends. Okay, everybody in the chat. Your friend Sovan is asking again, is there negative marking? गलत करना ही क्यों है दोस्त? इतना अच्छा तो हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, we teaching so good, free of cost. Why are you concerned about negative marking? You should be positive. Super. Okay, before I get to Deepika Padukone coffee product and did I watch Jawan, let's get back to the syllabus because we are still at chapter number 6. We have to do this, right? Let's get to our syllabus. I will also keep asking, okay, so how I want the next 2 days is going to be, our syllabus is almost complete. Chapter 6 is more of self-study. Let me be honest with you. I can explain you these concepts in simple English. I can explain you these concepts with examples. I can even explain these concepts in Hindi if that is a concern for you. For somebody who doesn't understand a particular concept, I'm okay in doing that. But how do you score marks in this particular chapter is self-study. Okay, there is no other way out to probably score from this chapter, and a lot of questions come from this chapter because it's a straightforward chapter. Please remember, this chapter is a straightforward chapter. Okay, so when your friends are saying 0.25 marks ka negative marking hai, okay, so 1/4 of the marks you would get as negative. Okay, super. Thank you, Pradeep. If your classes are helpful, I think that's the motive of ICAI Board of Studies, to help you all, and that's good. Cool. Let's get to our chapter number 6. We were talking about the 4 broad categories in this chapter. Okay, let me know if you want to zoom more or less. I'll do that. The 4 broad categories was finance and stock market. We will talk about the financial concepts and terms that are used in businesses. Number 2, we will be talking about marketing terminologies like 4 P's of marketing: place, price, product, promotion, right? We have done that in BST. Then we talk about banking terminology. We talk about what are checks, what is a clear day, what is a clearing house, what is a bank, what is an ATM. Okay, we'll talk about the banking terminology that business people use and work on day in to day life. And finally, we talk about other interesting banking or business terminologies, which are very commonly used in terms when you're talking from a business perspective. Okay. Now, how I want all of you to think while we go through this entire chapter very quickly is, please do not study this chapter from an exam perspective right now. You have to study this from an exam perspective when you do revision or self-study. Right now, just think, why is this important? Because in the next 3-4 years, right, most of you are going to join a big company. You're going to start your own practice. You're going to talk to a lot of business people, a lot of people who are doing really good in terms of their commercial transactions or businesses or setups or startups or ventures, right? People use these terms day into day. Okay, somebody comes and tells you that, boss, I need an advice. How do I arbitrage this opportunity? You'll be like, arbitrage kya hota hai? You should know this, right? And that is why it's important for you to learn this in foundation. Okay, these topics, these terms are not a dictionary. This chapter is not a dictionary for you ki arey kholo word dhondo pado. No, we just want you to know this is how the professional world works. You are in a professional course, though. This is not. This is why this course is different. It's called a professional course. You're going to become a professional. Learn these terms. Understand these terms. People use this every single day. Let me be honest. I've been working for the last 5 6 years. I know these terms are used so commonly, and there's no way. If you don't know this, people create an image of you, yeah, that you're not a good CA. Okay, cool. You're still waiting for the questions, Anna. Questions will come while we are doing the chapter. Okay, so I this is how I'm gonna do this, because it gets boring if I keep speaking on the terminologies. Terminologies पढ़ते पढ़ते बीच में we will also have some questions for you. Okay, I'll ask a random question and let's see if you can answer that or not. Okay, we were talking about, we did bull, we did business risk. Where were we? We talked about a lot of things. Or we not? Cool. Let's probably start with a very basic understanding of how these things are. I think we did arbitrage, we did fixed assets, intangible assets. We know tangible, intangible assets which you cannot touch, like a patent, like a copyright, like a brand. मैकडॉनल्ड्स का एम होता है, डोमिनोज का जो लोगो है, H&M का लोगो, राइट? द लोगो, द डिजाइन ऑफ द ब्रांड इज एन intangible asset, and that's valued like anything. Okay, that's valued like anything. Absolutely. Cool. So ask and offer, we know ask and offer. Ask, acha, question to you, we have done this. Which of the following is generally higher, ask price or bid price? Batao. Ask price or bid price, which of the following is generally higher, ask price or bid price? Ask price generally is higher or bid price is generally higher? Which of the following is higher, ask price or bid price? We're coming to that. You wanted questions, I'm asking questions now. Ask price is higher or bid price is higher? Ask price, okay. Bid price, very good. Generally, ask price is higher because somebody is asking and people ask for more money. People do not want to give more money. Okay, so ask price is generally higher. Cool. Audit, we know, checking and reviewing of records of an organization. Bad debts, money that is not going to come back to you. Your friends take 1,000 rupees, not returning you ever. That's a bad debt. Balance sheet, studying for the last 3 4 years. You know balance sheet much better than me. Bond, again, a promissory note that today you give me 10,000 rupees, I will pay you 10% interest every year for the next 5 years. After 5 years, I'll give you back this 10,000 rupees. This is a bond. This is a promissory note of money, of investment transaction, that you give me money and I will pay you interest. And after 5 years, I will pay that money back. Okay, that's called a bond. Book value, total assets minus total liabilities. We did that. Break even point, no profit, no loss is equal to break even point. Budget a plan of your expenditures for the next 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, whatever it is. Okay. Bears, bears and bulls. Bears who think market will go down, bulls who think market will go up, right? Base price we did. Basket trading I just explained again. Bear I just told you, bear market when people are pessimist. Market giregi, the shares are gonna fall. That's bear market. Okay. Badla. What is badla? Badla is basically when you carry forward a transaction. So in stock market, there is a timeline cutoff, right? At 3:15, 3:30, the market closes. When you carry forward a particular transaction to the next day, Okay, when you carry forward that so if you and me are doing a transaction, we are negotiating ki chalo aisa, you give me this price, you have an ask price, I have a bid price, you ask, I bid, you ask, I bid, negotiation chal raha hai, but the time closes. We carry forward to the next day. It's called badla. Badla has a premium, right? Badla has a premium which is called contango. We'll study about that as well. There's a premium, there's a charge you pay for it. It's called contango, which is Badla or contango, interest charged on the basis of demand and supply forces. Because you wasted so much time today, you could not close a transaction. मेरा बहुत सारा आपने टाइम खराब करा, उसका प्रीमियम भरो. It's called contango or badla charges. I'm just giving you a very basic understanding, right? Technically, it's very different. Technically, the things happen in a very different way, but just understand the concept and what this means, okay? Blue chips, companies which are well established, large companies which have very few chances of failing as an organization are called blue chip companies, like a Tata Consultancy Service, like a Wipro, Infosys, Reliance, or ITC, right? These companies are called blue chip companies, which are huge, well established companies with a track record of humongous success, money, profits, and the chances of these companies failing or going bankrupt or maybe getting out of the stock market or their shares falling is very less. See, it can happen. It's we're not saying the blue chip companies cannot fail, but the chances of them failing are very, very less. That is why they're called blue chip companies, मतलब premium quality companies. Okay. Now, beta is a measurement of risk. So if you're driving a motorcycle and you're doing a wheelie, the beta of you getting hurt is very high, which means the risk of you getting hurt is very high. If you're playing with fire, if you're bursting crackers and playing with crackers and everything, the beta of you getting hurt is very high. Now, understand what is beta. Beta is a measurement of risk. Now, that is used in technical terms as a measurement of relationship between stock price and the movement of the whole market is called beta. How risky is this stock? Okay, what is the relationship between the market moving and the stock moving? So if the market is going up, this share goes down, then the beta is inverse, right? The relationship, the risk of this share as compared to whole market is inverse, right? So that's called beta. And people or beta, right? Some American English you will heard a beta and some Indian English will say beta. Okay, so what this means is you measure how risky or what is the relationship between the stock that you're holding, a particular stock, and the whole market and the emotion in the whole market. And that really helps you understand whether you should invest in a particular stock or not. Okay. One of the few metrics you use to understand if you should be investing in that stock or not. Okay. Bid price, we talked about this. Brokerage firms, Zerodha, Grow, Upstocks, ET Money, all these are brokers, brokerage firms, HDFC Asset Management, ICICI Mutual Funds, the broker that's actually helping you do transactions on the stock market are called brokers, like we used to call the Dalal Street, the Dalals, the agents, right? Bull market, we know people positive, market uchlegi. Business days, we know Monday to Friday, right? Monday to Fridays are stock market business days, which is 5 days a week. Saturday, Sunday, we enjoy the money we make. Bonus means free allotment of shares. You would have heard in 11th and 12th, even in your accountancy, you would be learning about bonus issue of shares. That means free allotment of shares. You have 10 shares, I give you a bonus of one for every 10 shares. So I give you one share of for free. That's called bonus shares. Okay. Book closure, dates between which the companies keep its register of accounts. Then the members close by updating prior to payment, dividends issue, da, 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 da. So it's like a book closure means when you close your books of accounts, you finalize your books of accounts. That's what most of us do. Okay. Brokerage is the money that the brokers take. The charges charged by the broker are called brokerage. You would have also bought a house or a flat or something, right? उसमें जो charges लेते हैं, that's called brokerage. Brokers take a 15 day or 1 month of rent as a brokerage, right? That's called brokerage. Great. Okay. Rohit says, I had given an example of pedicure. Wow, very nice. Very nice. रोहित ने जाके गूगल करके पहली बार पढ़ा क्या होता है. ठीक है जी. Also, pay and balance sheet not matched. Absolutely, Darshika. It never matches. I don't know why. There is somewhere something that always goes wrong, especially in the chapters of amalgamation and consolidation. My balance sheet never matched. Okay, and I always used to cry. मेरे तो match ही नहीं होती थी. I don't know. There was always some problem in my depreciation or some suspense account or something. कुछ तो मिस होता ही था. Okay, let's get to business risk, the inherent risk that every business has, whether it will work or not. The buyers, people who buy stocks, simple. इसमें इतनी इंग्लिश में हम क्या समझे, इतना सिंपल आएगा भी नहीं दोस्त. Okay, call option, very nice. What is a call option? Call option is an option that gives you the right to particularly buy a stock at a specified price within a specified time period. Okay, very interesting concept. Call option क्या होता है? I say if tomorrow the price of this आज the price of the share is 10 rupees. If tomorrow, okay, if tomorrow the price is 9 rupees, I will buy 20 shares from you. And if the price is 11 rupees, I will pay the difference to you. You understand what I say? Think about this. I'll give you an example and then you understand what is a call option. Very simple concept, but it's heavily used and people make lakhs and crores of money and also lose lakhs and crores of money. खराब हो जाता है पूरा जीवन कॉल ऑप्शन और पुट ऑप्शन में ट्रेडिंग करते हुए. Okay, so what this means is very simple. Okay, think about this. You tell your friend, okay, you tell your friend, let's say you and your friend go to buy a particular, let's say Apple Watch खरीदने जाते, ठीक है? You and your friend plan to go and buy an Apple Watch 30,000 rupees, okay? 30,000 rupees Apple Watch, you both go and buy. You tell your friend, see, now Apple is launching a new version or a new an advanced version of Apple Watch. So if the price of this watch after 1 month, listen to this very carefully. If the price of this Apple Watch after 1 month is 25,000 rupees, I will buy it from you. Okay? I will buy it from you. But if the price is more than 30,000 after 1 month, I will give you the difference of that 30,000 and the new price. Okay. Now your friend says, ठीक है, I'm okay with this because your friend thinks that the price will go higher because this version has more features. The new version will not be such a hot selling product. Okay. अपना अपना expectation है. Your friend has a different expectation. You have a different expectation. You have a different. Both of them are doing betting, right? It's more like a satta. You're doing betting, but you have different things. You think the price will fall, and I will buy for 25,000. Your friend says price बढ़ेगा, and let this person take a risk. इसको क्या पता market में क्या होता है? I know how the Apple Watch prices move, and you both get into this option. Now your friend is giving you an option to buy it at a lower price. So your friend says, see, I am giving you an option. I'm giving you an option. It is not जरूरी कि आप कल खरीदो, right? It is not जरूरी कि एक महीने बाद you go and buy that watch from him. There is an option. There is not an obligation. Not an obligation to buy that watch. Okay, but an option. So you pay me 2,000 rupees right now because I am giving you that option. Because I am giving you this option to buy at a lower price, you give me 2,000 rupees today. And you say, okay, that makes sense because I am getting that privilege. If this becomes 25,000 rupees, I am getting this option to buy at 25,000. So I will have to pay some money to get this option. I will have to pay some money to get this option, right? So I paid 2,000 rupees. That's called call option premium. That's called call option का premium. ठीक है? After 1 month, after 1 month, understand this carefully. After 1 month, the price of the Apple Watch is 29,000 rupees. The price of the Apple Watch is 29,000 rupees. What will you do? Think. What will you do? Now, the price of the Apple Watch after 1 month is 29,000 rupees. What will you do? Think, think, think. The price of the Apple Watch is now 29,000. What will you do? You have an option to buy it at 29,000, or you also have an option to say, no, I don't want to buy this anymore, and you lose 2,000 rupees. You will not buy, right? Mariam says you will buy because it was decided that you have to buy. Okay. Buy, sell it to a friend, buy it for 25,000. You cannot buy for 25,000. The price is 29,000. How will you buy at 25,000, Darshika? The price is 29,000. Why? How can you buy at 25,000 जब 29 का प्राइस है तो पहले हिंदी में भी समझा देंगे but I'm speaking very simple English. Most of you are wrong. You will not buy that watch and lose 2,000 rupees because if you buy this watch at 29,000, if you buy this watch at 29,000, you have already paid 2,000 rupees. So this watch becomes 31,000 for you. You buy it for 29,000, you have already paid 2,000. So the cost of the watch is 31,000 for you. So you will not buy the watch and not block your 31,000 rupees and just lose that 2,000 rupees that you gambled upon, that you took an option to buy. वो 2,000 रुपए आप lose कर दोगे. ठीक है? इसको बोलते हैं call option. That is why people lose a lot of money in call option because the prices do not fluctuate so much or people do not have so much knowledge about these, right? Now, if the price is 31,000 rupees, what will happen? If the price is for 31,000, what will you do? Subhadeep says, I will still buy. What if it increases? दोस्त एक महीने में तो the price have fallen by 1,000 rupees. How will it increase in the future? ये कैसे ट्रेडर हो दोस्त आप? पैसे सारे लुट जाएंगे आपके तो. In 1 month, the price has fallen from 30,000 to 29,000 and you're still saying, what if future में price बढ़ जाए? ठीक है, ले लेना सर आप, आपके पैसे हैं. Use your money how you want to do that. Absolutely, Darshika. You're saying it was decided that you have to buy, but it is an option, not an obligation to buy. You can say no. You have an option. It's called call option for a reason. It's called call option, not call obligation. Option है, नहीं भी कर सकते हो, नहीं भी बोल सकते हो. Is it gambling? Sort of, but not gambling. It's done under the rules of SEBI. Okay? It's done under the rules of SEBI. 31,000 you will not buy. Bro, you will not buy any, you will pay 1,000 rupees also now. You have paid 2,000 rupees to take that option whether to buy at 25,000 or not. You have gambled upon that. And the contract said if the price is higher, what will you do? You will have to pay that 1,000 as well. Is it? Depends. Depends. Okay. There are different kinds of contracts, but in a plain call option, you will not buy and lose that 2,000 rupees. But certain times there are certain options, right? There are futures and options. If this had been a future contract, you would have paid that 1,000 as well, the difference. Okay? But for now, understand that you would have not bought at 31,000 and lost that 2,000 rupees. This is where a lot of people lose money in the stock market. So you have to be very careful on what you are investing on. Okay. And people do call options on shares. I gave you an example of Apple Watch. People take call options on every single stock, every single share that is on the stock exchange. People do call options on the Sensex, on the Nifty, on the Bank Nifty, on this and that. whatever, they're indexed, right? If Nifty today is 20,200 points, right? 20,000 cross kargi Nifty. I take a call option and I say, listen, if Nifty, if Nifty falls down to 18,000 in the next 6 months, if Nifty falls down to 18,000 in the next 6 months, I will buy 100 units of in Nifty. sh- What do I say? How do I explain that? Like it's called exchange traded funds, ETFs, right? I'll buy, let's say, 100 units of Nifty from you. Okay. But after 6 months, if Nifty goes to 30,000, I lose all the money as a premium that I had paid, right? I would have paid a premium to take this option and I lose all that money after 6 months. That is called losing in the call option. And if it is, let's say, 16, kya, 10,000 ki reh gayi, it's half, it's almost half, something happens, it's half. You're like, bro, maze aa gaye, right? That's where you made money. Cool. Okay. Now, capital budgeting. Capital budgeting क्या होता है? Capital budgeting is planning for an expenditure on assets whose cash flows are expected to extend beyond 1 year. Capital budgeting is basically you want to start a restaurant. So it will take 1 year to make that interior designing, take a land, bring a lot of utensils, do testing, prepare everything. It's called capital budgeting. You're budgeting for creating assets which are going to give you cash flow after beyond 1 year, right? Extend beyond 1 year. That's called capital budgeting. Long-term projects are called capital budgeting. Plant kholna hai, you have to open a factory, you have to open a warehouse. These are called capital budgeting projects, which are long-term and require a lot of money. Okay. Capital gain yield, that is when you sell a particular asset, right? When you sell a particular asset, not stock. आप stock बेच, so basically if you sell stocks, not the share market, but आपके दुकान का जो stock होता है, inventory जो होती है, if you're selling your clothes or like Surf Excel and soaps and all that, that is revenue. Capital gain is when you sell your asset. You sell your house, you sell your gold, you sell your car, you sell your XYZ asset. It's called capital gain. The money that you gain from that transaction is called capital gain, right? And capital markets kya hota hai? Capital markets are financial markets where people trade stocks and shares. That's called capital markets, okay? Because people need capital to be there and they create a lot of wealth and capital from that. Okay? No problem, Anushka. Call option समझने का नहीं. Just अभी understand what I told you. Do not get into technicalities. It's a very complicated transaction. लोग तो जो करते हैं, people who trade in call options also do not understand it. Okay? So do not scratch your head कि मेरे को call option नहीं आया, right? But just understand it's an option and not a right or an obligation to buy in the future. एग्जाम की तरफ से ऐसे ही समझिए. If you want to read more, go to Google, go to YouTube. People have taught that with example stock market में कैसे होता है, right? You will see that there. What is the benefit of paying 2,000? Because you're getting it for cheap, right? You're getting it for cheap. That is why you're paying a premium. अब 31,000 की है तो अब मैं तो खरीद लूंगा ना, right? Again, to your question, when I said what happens when it is for 31,000, right? I said I won't buy and lose that 2,000, but a smart investor will buy at 25,000. सस्ती मिल रही है, right? That is where you guys also are getting confused. Simple है दोस्त. You have understand call option as you have fixed a price. Let's say your mom goes to a shop and tells, or your parents, anybody goes to a shop and they tell, I want to buy this particular product. I'll come tomorrow, but give me the price what is today. If the shopkeeper says the price is 1,000 rupees, your mom says, okay, I'll come tomorrow, but give me 1,000 only. The shopkeeper says, I don't know what the price tomorrow will be. It can be 1,200, it can be 800, I don't know. So your mom says, no, I want to buy at 1,000 rupees only. And you keep this 50 rupees right now as a token money to give me for 1,000 rupees tomorrow. Shopkeeper says, okay. Your mom goes tomorrow and sees that the price is 800 rupees. Will she buy for 800? Oh, 1,000 rupees. No, she will not buy for 1,000 rupees. What if the price is for 1500? She will buy it for 1000 rupees, right? Do you understand the concept? So it's more about fixing a price at by giving a premium and then deciding whether you want to buy or not. Okay. You fix your price and then you take your conscious decision whether this transaction makes sense or not to you. Okay. It's all about freezing a particular price by giving a token money. As simple as that. That's called call option. Cool. Let's not get into technicalities. 2 घंटे लग जाएंगे उसी में. Okay. Cash budget क्या होता है? A table showing the cash flows, incomes and outflows. Credit period is the period that you give as length of time that you give a credit to somebody. कि ठीक है, no problem, you give me money after 3 months. So 3 months is the credit period. You're giving somebody a credit period to pay at a later stage. Okay. Closing price, the price at the end of the day of the stock market. Commercial paper, again like a bond, a short-term promissory note. Values are in lakhs and crores. Generally, banks trade in commercial paper. It's like a bond. It's like a short-term loan between the banks with a huge amount. Okay, commodities are like stocks, gold, silver, everything that you can trade on is called a commodity. Convertible securities are like securities which can be converted from equity shares to debentures, from debentures to bonds, to preferred stocks, to preferential rights, to this and that. Okay, so any security which can be converted into a different security are called convertible securities. You would have studied that in accounts also. Convertible equity shares, the price changes to debenture. How do you calculate that? In final, CA final, we used to have a subject called Strategic Financial Management, SFM. We used to do numericals of convertible securities. You would also be doing that. Okay. Just understand the concept right now. घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है कि हमें नहीं समझ आया, हमें नहीं पता, पढ़ना पड़ेगा. That is what I said. This chapter is all about self-study. Okay, because there's so many terms you would have been hearing for the first time, but घबराना नहीं है. इसको समझना है, देखना है. The English written in the book is so simple. Look at this. Convertible securities. Let's understand the simple English that's in the book. I know you guys are very overwhelmed कि यार ये क्या word है, वो क्या word है. English है दोस्त. Nothing. Simple words. A security, bond, debenture, preferred stock by an issuer that can be converted into any other security of that issuer are known as convertible securities. The conversion usually occurs at the option of the holder, but it may occur at the option of the issuer also. Simple. आपकी मर्जी हो, मेरी मर्जी हो, कोई किसी की भी मर्जी हो, हम कन्वर्ट करा सकते हैं. Now think about this. Think about this. Achal, let me ask a question to you. What is the difference between a debenture holder and an equity holder? Okay. Shopkeeper will get the loss. Yes, that is why the shopkeeper has taken a premium of 50 rupees. He or she is also betting, right? Both the parties are betting in a call option, not just you. Yes, token money to necessary hai, tabhi you are taking that option. But the question here is, tell me the difference between a debenture holder and an equity holder. Quickly. Pallavi keeps changing. There is no highest possible government interest rate. It can be anything that the government wants. There is no upper limit. It can be 100% also. Equity holder is the owner and gets dividend. Okay. Manaswi, what else? And what is debenture holder? Voting rights होते हैं equity के पास. Debenture holder get interest and shareholder gets dividend. Super. Equity holder is the owner. Debenture holder are like creditors and equity holders are like owners. Vanshi, super. Voting rights होते हैं. गौतम कह रहे हैं voting rights is the difference. Absolutely. Now, equity holders are like owners. If there is a loss in the company, think about this, okay? Think like an investor. If you are an equity holder, think about this, okay? Now I'm going to give you the concept right there. If you are an equity holder and the company is making losses, would you want to be converted into a debenture holder? If you are an equity holder and the company is making huge losses, would you want to be converted to a debenture holder? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Khushi says yes, Apurva says yes, right? Once we says yes, once she says no, once she says I am ready to take losses. मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, पैसे हाथ की मैल है, ठीक है, okay. But think from more of a financial perspective. Vidisha says no, Saloni says yes, Vishal says yes, Asim says yes. Cool. Majority people say yes, I would want to because interest तो मुझे मिलता रहेगा. Interest on my debenture will anyway be there. But if I'm an equity holder, I might just not get any money out of the stock share price, out of the dividend, out of bonus. मुझे कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. I'm taking all the losses as the owner, right? But if I'm a debenture holder, I will get interest in spite of losses. Absolutely. The equity shareholders would want to be converted to debenture holders. Now, at the time of issue of the equity share, the company creates like some shares as convertible equity shares. Company says, I am issuing 1 lakh shares, out of which 5,000 are convertible equity shares. Now, convertible equity shares are always costlier than the normal equity shares because obviously you're paying a premium because you have that privilege. Whenever there are losses, you can be converted to debentures, right? So these are called convertible securities, which give you an option. It is possible, but that share is called a convertible share. It's not called an equity share, it's called a convertible equity share, which is obviously costlier than a normal equity share because you have that privilege of getting converted to a debenture or a creditor for that matter. Okay, cool. That's convertible securities. Simple. Consolidation, business combination of two or more entities is called consolidation. Creditors, people to whom we give money and they're not giving our money back, right? Creditors are people who owe money to any particular line at particular time to you. People you give out loans to are your creditors. डिवेंचर्स क्या होते हैं? डिवेंचर्स क्या होते हैं? सॉरी, मैंने उल्टा बोल दिया. क्रेडिटर्स आर पीपल यू वी हैव टू पे, राइट? आई टोल्ड यू डेटर्स. क्रेडिटर्स आर पीपल टू हु यू हैव टू पे मनी, दे आर योर क्रेडिटर्स. आप किसी और के क्रेडिटर हो सकते हो, बट people who are your creditors are people to whom you have to pay money, right? Debtors are debentures. I just told you, debenture holders more than me, right? Debtors also accounts, it. What are defensive stocks? Okay, defensive stocks, absolutely amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing stocks. They're called defensive stocks. A stock that provides a constant dividend and stable earnings even in the period of economic downturn. Even when the country GDP is falling, when the economy is going down, these share prices go up. Give me some examples of defensive stocks. Give me some examples of defensive stocks. So we should sell the debentures? You can. Depends if you want money. They're type of a preference share. No, very different. Preference shares are not convertible. Preference shares are not convertible. Preference shares are you get a preference over equity, but you cannot convert them. There are convertible preference shares also. Not every preference share is convertible. Okay, Sana says pharma and FMCG, even when the economy goes down, these stocks go up. FMCG, no. If the economy is going down, the consumption goes down and FMCG shares do go down. Pharma is one good example of defensive stock. When the economy goes down, pharma booms because people are more stressed. There are more medical cases or healthcare cannot pause even if the economy is going down, right? लोगों को जो दवाई लेनी है वो तो लेंगे. Now let's say कि economy war हो रही है. For example, if there is a war in Russia and Ukraine, that doesn't mean people are not uh, taking medicines. They will need medicines more than ever. They will need pharma products more than ever, right? So pharma is one good example. Alcohol is another good example, right? TCS, VCS नहीं दोस्त, इकोनॉमी नीचे जाएगी तो सब डूबेंगे. Those are not defensive stocks. Gold is not a stock, it's a commodity. Okay. Gas agency, gas तो उतनी ही यूज होगी दोस्त. If the economy is going down, people will start using more of gas. Why? ज्यादा खाना खाएंगे. Pharma is one good example. Alcohol, tobacco, right? People are more stressed. People start consuming a lot of alcohol in stress, and economy is down. That's how the trend is. That is how our society is. That is what stocks do better when there is an economic downturn. Two, three major examples for you to understand. Pharma is good. Alcohol, tobacco. Okay, these are defensive stocks. Cool. And even the defense artillery, like companies making guns and tanks and bombs and rockets and all this. Because if it's an economic downturn or it's a war kind of a thing, those will boom even when the other things are going down. Okay. Depreciation, you guys know better than me what is a depreciation. Derivative kya hota hai? Derivative is a security which derives its value from some underlying asset. कल बारिश होगी या नहीं होगी, that's a derivative security. The price of a particular bond, the price of TCS tomorrow will be 3700. You say it will be 3700, I say it will be 3500. We create a derivative instrument and we do a betting on that, we do trading on that. It's called derivative. A securities whose price is derived from one or more underlying asset. Can be a currency, can be interest rate, can be market index like a Sensex Nifty, can be a bond, can be a stock. Okay, diversification, spreading your wings, diversifying. You are a chartered accountant, you are a classical dancer, you are a singer, you are a guitar player, you are a football player. You're diversifying your skills. It's called diversification. Same thing happens in the stock market. People say, please diversify your investment. Do not just invest in the stock market, invest in fixed deposit, gold, equity, real estate, currencies, liquid cash, this and that, in your education, in your upskilling in technology. Diversify your investments. That calls diversification. Dividend is the money you get back as a gift from the company for being a shareholder and taking the risk. Equity net worth is basically, you know what we call it, right? Equity is, even in the balance sheet, you have the equity and shareholders funds, right? That's equity net worth of the company. Exchange rate, the currency exchange rate, USD to INR, 84 rupees, 83 rupees. That is the exchange rate, the rate of exchange between the currencies. Face value, you know what a face value is. I don't need to. Accounts key terms, I'm not telling you guys know accounting terms, okay? Financial instruments, anything that's like shares or bonds or debentures, all are financial instruments, okay? Financial intermediaries are brokers. जो brokers है, brokerage firms है, we also call them financial intermediaries. We talked about bonds. You give money somebody, you promise to give them money back and give them an interest rate. When government does that, it's called government bonds. These are the safest mode of investment in any country. The safest and the cheapest. सबसे कम interest rate होता है. The safest and the lowest interest rate, but it is the safest. इसका ये तो मिलेगा ही, right? This is 100% risk free. These are called government bonds. Okay, these are called government securities. And has the highest possible rate of interest. Highest possible, that means the possibility of getting a rate of interest is high, डूबेगा नहीं. But generally इसका rate of interest बहुत high नहीं होता है. Okay, hedge क्या होता है? Hedge is basically minimizing your risk, is called hedging. Minimizing your risk is called hedging. You hedge yourself against a particular risk, right? You wear a helmet while driving a motorcycle or a scooter or a scooty. That's called hedging the risk. The risk of getting hit or getting hurt, you are reducing or minimizing that risk by wearing a helmet. That is how in financial markets people do hedging. What people do is, if I want to buy dollars, I will buy dollars, but I will sell euros. So people hedge this. If dollar increases, so will euros. So if I buy dollars, I will sell euros. That means even if dollar increases, I have to pay more. But because I'm selling euros, I will get more, right? I'm paying more, but I'm getting more. I'm paying more, but I'm getting more. They're hedging the risk of the price increase. There are so many strategies like a straddle, like a butterfly, like a plain vanilla, right? People do so many stock exchange strategies just to hedge their risk. If I am buying Tata Consultancy Service stock, I am selling Infosys. I am buying Infosys, I'm selling TCS. So that एक दोनों कंपटीशन है. Both the companies are competitors. एक का प्राइस बढ़ेगा, दूसरे का गिरेगा. Right? So I'm hedging. If I'm buying one, I'm sell the other. If I'm selling other, I'm buying the other. Right? Or other strategies, I'll buy both or I'll sell both. Right? These are called strategies to hedge or minimize your risk. Too many strategies, but that is where your brain starts working. That is where the chartered accountant in you starts working. Right? Cool. Bond yield is the interest rate on the bond, sir. Okay. Holding period क्या है? Holding period is the time duration during which a capital asset is held. You hold the shares of a particular company, let's say Wipro, for 3 years. This is your holding period. As simple as that. Then you have income stock, which have solid dividends. Stocks which give a lot of solid dividends are called income stocks. Okay. Now, index, हमने पढ़ लिया है Sensex, Nifty. These are index which tell you how a particular market or the companies in the market doing. What is initial public offering? You tell me. You guys are the next generation, the young generation. You guys need know what an IPO is. What is an IPO? IPO क्या होता है? Initial public offering. What is an IPO? Tell me. Tell me what is an IPO? Initial public offering. सबको पता होना चाहिए. अगर नहीं पता है तो पिटाई है दोस्त. Because this is the most commonly used thing. Even on Instagram Reels, you guys watch a lot of people talking about IPOs. What is an IPO? What is an IPO? Initial public offering होता क्या है? Hmm. Primary market, listing in stock exchange. IPO is the first issue of shares. Great. Okay, listing in stock market. Okay, company issues shares for the first time. Yes. New stock which comes into stock market. Yes. Primary market. विशाल क्या primary market? Initial public offering मतलब primary market. ठीक है? Okay. First time offer of shares, when the shares of a public company are offered to the public for the first time. Great. Initial means first issue. First time shares, first share of the company, first time issue of shares when the company issue shares. Why am I even teaching you guys? You guys know everything. बताते नहीं है. मैं तब से 1 घंटे से एक एक टर्म पढ़ा रहा हूँ. You should guys have told me we know this. Don't teach us. Right? Absolutely right. Initial public offering is the first time that a company issues shares in the public markets. It's called initial public offering. नायका का आईपीओ, बोट का आईपीओ आएगा अभी. LIC has gone for an IPO. Like there's like Idea Forge came for an IPO. Nazara Technologies came for an IPO, right? LIC हो गया. बहुत सारी companies आई for IPO, right? And people make good money and even lose good money. Internet trading, as the name suggests, trading on the internet, not via the earlier. If you have seen Scam 1992, they used to do this paper pe लिख के trading. Now it's internet. You go on your app and phone and do the trading, right? Limit order. You order to buy or sell at a specified price. That is called a limit order. That means you tell your broker buy 100 shares when the price in the market hits 200 rupees. If currently the price is 210 rupees, you tell your broker that boss, the moment it is 100 rupees, the moment it is 200 rupees, buy 100 shares for me. That's called limit order. Okay. Liquidation, that means the assets are sold off. We have talked about liquidation as well, right? When the assets of a division are sold off, it's called liquidation. Listed stocks, we've talked about public companies, public sector companies, listed companies, unlisted companies. I have done that in depth. So this is listed stocks, the listed companies. Market capitalization, number of shares into the market price, is called the market capitalization of a company. The number of shares into the current market price. Money market, the component of financial market which involves short-term borrowing between people, is called money market. Mutual fund, when a lot of money is pooled from a lot of people and then traded on the stock exchange, it's called a mutual fund. One-sided market, when a lot of people are positive or a lot of people are negative. One-sided market, and that means the entire market is thinking that India is going to be the future of the world in the next 10 years. It's a one-sided market. Everybody is saying the next 10 years are India's growth story. That's a one-sided market, my friend. Everybody is talking about India, India, India. That's a one-sided market, okay? No two-sided market. Nobody says India is not going to be the next big thing in the next 10 years. It's a one-sided market, okay? Out of money. Call options mein hota hai. When the price is below the strike price, it's called out of money. That is when we talked about 30,000, the price was 29,000. It was out of the money deal. It was out of the money deal. Why would I buy for 29,000 anyway, right? I've already paid 2,000 for that. So it is out of the money deal for me. Portfolio. Holding of any individual or institution is called a portfolio. We talked about portfolio chapter 3 mein dost, right? Pre-opening session, 15 minutes from 9 to 9:15 is called pre-option. Jahan pe badla transactions, we studied about the carryover transactions are done. That is 9 to 9:15 before the market opens. Market opens at 9:15. The 15-minute before the opening is called pre-opening session, right? Price earning ratio is PE ratio, which is a simple formula, which means the earnings, that is price of the market price divided by earning per share, is called a PE ratio. One of the biggest and the strongest metric for anybody analyzing shares. It's called PE ratio. Market price divided by earning per share. Okay. Put option क्या है दोस्त? Call option का उल्टा is put option. In call option, you take an option to buy. In put option, you get an option to sell. In call option, you get an option to buy. In a put option, you get an option to sell. That's the only difference. The transaction remains the same. In a call option, you say, I will buy at this price if this falls, and you pay a premium for that. In put options, you get an option, not the right. It is not mandatory. It's not obligation on you to sell that. It is just an option and you pay a premium for that. Okay. The return on investment, simple ROI क्या होता है? The total money earned out of the total money invested on anything is called ROI. Okay. Do private companies issue IPOs? Yes, they can. From a seller point of view, that is right. Put option is more from a seller point of view. The call option from a seller point is a put option. Okay. But it is an option, not an obligation. In a call option, the seller has an obligation to sell that at a lower price because the option is with the call option holder to buy. And if the call option holder says, okay, I want to buy, then the seller of call option will have to sell. But the seller of the put option has an option to sell or not. Okay. यहाँ पे वो मना कर सकते कि I don't want to sell. It's an option. It's not an obligation. But the seller of a call option has to sell. The seller in the put option has an option to sell or not sell. That is the difference. Okay. Risk, तो क्या ही बताना? We know what is risk. Security, we talked about shares and everything. All these are securities. Strike price is the price at which the holder of an option can buy. Like 30,000, we said 25,000 in our example. If it is for 25,000, that's a strike price. That's called a strike price. Okay. Stock, we talked about the certificate. It's the share of a particular company is called stock. Okay. But then I told inventory is also called stock. Like the stock in hand, the inventory of a company. If you're selling clothes, the jeans and t-shirts are your stock. Okay, that is your inventory. Stock split. When you split your share, when a share becomes too big, like a share is for 50,000 rupees, you split it into a ratio of 10:1. That means you create 5,000 rupees shares of that 50,000 shares. You create 10 shares of 5,000 each. so that more people can invest in your company, right? So that more people can invest in your company, you do a stock split. Now, if a stock price of a particular company becomes 1 lakh rupees for one share, you and me cannot buy that stock. It's too expensive for us. हम 1 लाख रुपए एक शेयर में नहीं लगा सकते. But the company says, boss, I want more money from the stock market. I want more people to invest in my company. Let me split the stock into 100:1. 1,000 रुपए के 100 shares दे दिए. People who had 1 lakh rupee का share, one share, now have 100 shares. And the market price is now 1,000 rupees. So you and me can just go and say, okay, now I can buy 10 shares of this company because it will only cost me 10,000 rupees. That is why companies go for a stock split. Okay. Thin market is where the variance, since the number of transaction is very low, markets or stocks जिनकी ज़्यादा trading नहीं होती है. Thin markets are markets where the transactions are very less, not very popular stocks, not very popular shares. Those are called thin markets. Okay. Trading session 9:15 to 3:30. Remember this. Trading session is 9:15 to 3:30. Most asked question from financial terms. Okay. Venture capital. Venture capital is a form of private equity where people invest money into startups, right? They invest money on entrepreneurs and they bet money on entrepreneurs so that those companies become the next unicorn and billionaires and they can exit that company and make money. Okay, cool. Yield. Yield is the interest rate. Interest rate को बोलते हैं yield. Just remember that. Interest rate is called yield, okay, or coupon rate. Yield to call, the rate of return that you make on a bond is called, its on its maturity date is called yield to call. That means on the full year, so 5 year का bond था, 5 साल में आपने कितना interest कमाया, that is called your yield to call. The total interest you earned over the 5 years of a particular bond is called yield to call. Zero coupon bond, which means no interest rate bond. If the bond says, see, I give you an example. You give me 50,000 rupees today. I will pay you 10% interest every year. And after, and after, and after 5 years, I will pay you 50,000 back. Okay. Now you say, okay, gonna give me 10% every year, which means that I will make 25,000 in 5 years. Okay. 10% of 50,000 is 5,000. 5,000 every year for the next 5 years. I will give you 50,000. You will give me 5,000 every year. After 5 years, you will give me 50,000 back. So I make 25,000 on my 50,000 rupees in 5 years. Great. Okay. Good investment. Very good investment. Zero coupon bond says, listen, zero coupon bond says a bond that does not pay annual interest but is sold at a discount below par, thus providing compensation to investors in the form of capital appreciation. What does this mean? Who will explain this to me? कौन समझाएगा? What is a zero coupon bond? Which means I will not pay you an interest, but I will give you at a discounted price today. I will give you at a discounted price today. How does a zero coupon bond work? Let's say, who can tell me? The chartered accountants of 2025, 6, 7. The next 3-4 years, you guys are going to be chartered accountants. Let's see. Absolutely, Subhadeep. That is why stock market terms are confusing, because stock market is confusing. But यही तो पढ़ना है दोस्त. Finance professionals of the future, boss. You guys are there. Bond of 500 sold at 450, redeemed at 500. Great. Most of the terms, okay. Apurva, good. That's right. Sold at 90,000 and after 3 years you receive 1 lakh rupees. Great. That's absolutely right. Apurva is right. Rohani is right. Indrajit is right. Indrajit is expert, writes 90, becomes 100. Smart. Indrajit is text expert. ज़्यादा English नहीं लिखनी. 90 greater than 100. बात clear. Good. Okay, 50,000 का bond 20,000 में देने लग रहे हैं. ये कौन सी हिंदी है विशाल? But ठीक है. Okay, you're right. So if that bond is zero coupon, means I pay 25,000 today. I pay 20,000 today. You give me 50,000 after 5 years. दैट्स अ जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड. ठीक है, इंटरेस्ट नहीं दूंगा. Every year I'm not going to give you interest, but after 5 years I'll give you 50,000. You give me 25,000 today. Simple. That's called a zero coupon bond. Fantastic. Very good. With this, we are done with our financial terms. Let's take a pause of 2 minutes, see what you have, and then we go to the marketing terms. चलिए जी, biggest topic of the chapter which is financial terms is done. इसके बाद हम लोग करेंगे अपना marketing terms. We will do the marketing terms. 2 minutes of doubts and questions if you have any. I know you have many, but let's see. Issued at a price less than the face value, redeemed at the face value, the difference between the both prices is return. Absolutely right. You're correct. Prem Kushwaji, you're absolutely right. Stock split is authorized, may authorized capital does get reduced, right? No, authorized capital cannot get reduced. Stock split or the amount remains the same, my friend. I give you 5 chocolates of 100 rupees each, or I give you 50 chocolates of 10 rupees each. I am still spending 5,000 rupees on you, right? Out of the money, we talked about if the call option doesn't make sense. Simple. If the call option doesn't make sense to buy, it's called out of the money. As simple as that. If the call option doesn't make sense to buy, it's called OTM. ठीक है जी. Difference between consolidation and amalgamation. कौन बताएगा? We have done this दोस्त. Accounts में तो definition है clear. The difference between venture capital and angel investor. Angel investors are majority individuals. Venture capitals are huge funds operated like an organization. That's the difference. Okay. Venture capitals are huge funds. Angel investors are individual people. Derivative, deriving value from an underlying asset. It's called derivative. Kal barish hogi. That this transaction is deriving value from barish, the rain. Okay. ROI, return on investment. You go and do the what is the ROI of chartered accountancy course? Return on investment kya hai? You are spending how much on a chartered accountancy course, right? You're spending like 50, 60,000 rupees on books and registration fees and exam forms, maybe traveling here and there. Assuming you're taking all the classes free of cost from BOS, you're spending 50, 60,000 rupees in this entire course, and your average salary of a chartered accountant, if you go and Google, is 7, 8 lakh rupees as on date, right? It can be lower depending on the city. It can be higher again depending on the city. Mumbai might have a higher salary, but again the expenses are higher. Or a tier 2, tier 3 city might have a lower salary, but again the expenses are also lower. So average 7, 8 lakh rupees, if you go and Google that, that means you're investing 60,000 to make 8 lakh per year. The return on investment is 10x plus. 10 गुना return है आपकी investment पे, right? That's how people do. What is the ROI of doing an MBA? I go and do an MBA from a top IIM for 30, 40 lakh rupees. My average salary is 30 lakh rupees. So return on investment is like 0% in the first year, and then it goes beyond, right? That's called ROI. In zero coupon, the 25K is paid at the starting and give 50 at the end of 5 years. Absolutely. उल्टा क्यों होगा? I give 50 now and I get 25 later. तो मैं पैसे लूज कर जाऊंगा ना दोस्त. All right, Naveen has a question in Hindi. Let me read that. जब हम trading start करें तो हमें broker से करना चाहिए या फिर खुद से? Naveen, you cannot do खुद से. Broker is mandatory to trade in the stock exchange. You cannot do. You can't go to Mukesh Ambani and say, अरे Reliance के shares दे दो. You will have to go through a broker. Okay. विशाल से सर टाइम भी तो लग रहा है. ठीक है विशाल, तो बिजनेस कर लो, पढ़ाई क्यों कर रहे हो? टाइम लगा है। So open a company, start a company, spend 5 years on building your business. You might make more money. It's your decision. Why are you studying for 5 years then? Why does a doctor study for 10 years? Waste of time, right? ठीक है सर. You have to invest your money, your time, and then you get returns, right? The security of life, the security, if you're a chartered accountant, you can easily make money, right? If that is your motive, which honestly you depends, right? You can do so many things as a chartered accountant, from audit to tax consultancy to teaching to like advisory to this internal audit, stocks trading, this that. You can do so many things, right? It's an open-ended course, my friend. It gives you security. You have to invest some time anyway. Anyway, that's a topic for tomorrow where we do the gappe session about the course, about what next, how to do articleship, how to make your resumes and all. वो हम कल करेंगे. आज हम ये चैप्टर खत्म कर लेंगे, फटाफट दौड़ाएंगे. नाउ मोस्ट ऑफ द टर्म्स आई विल नॉट सी टेक्निकल वर फाइनेंशियल. इसके बाद राइट, इसके बाद हम जो करने वाले हैं दे आर प्रीटी सिंपल. वील गो वेरी क्विक ऑन दैट. ओके, बैंकिंग वाली थोड़ी सी अजीब सी हैं, बट वील डू दैट एज वेल. अजीब से बोले तो द टू टेक्निकल, बट वील स्टडी दैट. Rohit says, if studying is waste of time, I want to waste my time. Okay, Rohit Kabir Singh. ठीक है जी. Then there will be brokerage charge. Absolutely, you have to pay that. Brokerage charge लगेगा आपको, आपको stamp duty लगेगा. You will have to pay a lot of charges. हम डीमैट अकाउंट से पर्सनली स्टॉक परचेज कर सकते हैं. डीमैट अकाउंट खोलोगे किसके साथ प्रेम? ब्रोकर के साथ ही खोलोगे ना. Kaushal, how to clear CA in first attempt? Tomorrow. That's a session for tomorrow. Cool. Let's get to marketing terminologies, my friends. We have done financial terminologies. The biggest chunk of the chapter is done. We are going to marketing terminologies. Number one, advertising campaign, right? Amul Doodh Pita Hai India, or I'm loving it. That's McDonald's does that, right? That's advertising campaign. That's a campaign they're running so that people become aware of the brand. They start relating to a brand. It's called advertising campaign. Number two, advertising. You and me know what advertising is. Promoting the company, the brand in any form of paid advertisement on television, on radio, on posters, on social media. It's called advertising. Number three, after sale services. घर पे आके लोग ठीक करते हैं. वारंटी, राइट? 5 years warranty, 10 years warranty, 12 years warranty of a washing machine, after sales services. Agents are part of distribution channels, right? Wholesalers, basically people who are actually agents to sale. They come to the shop, they sell the product to the shop, the shopkeeper sells it to you. The agent distribution channel. Barriers to trade, right? Barriers to trade are, for example, tax on imports. I was telling you, if you want to import a Ferrari, you have to pay 200% import duty. That's called barrier to trade. That's for promoting the local businesses. That's for supporting and safeguarding the local businesses. That is what the government does. It's called barrier to trade. Trade करने पे बंद लगा दिया, barrier लगा दिया on trading. So you have barred, or you create a barrier for others to trade. That's called barrier to trade. Barriers to entry and exit, right? Sometimes companies have barrier to entry, like Reliance creates a barrier to entry. Nobody can right now get into SIM card or telecommunications because it's very difficult to fight with Airtel and Reliance Jio right now in the market, right? They have created a barrier to entry for people. Some industries have barriers to exit, like cement industry, like heavy technology industries, right? Because people have created plants and factories worth thousands of crores, and it's very difficult to exit now because they cannot exit that investment of 1,000 crores, right? What is a benchmarking? Benchmarking is comparing your products with the best in the class. Okay, your parents would have done that, you would have done that. People benchmark every batsman against Virat Kohli, against Sachin Tendulkar, against Rahul Dravid, against, let's say, any other foreign player like AB de Villiers or like anybody, right? Why? People always benchmark a spinner against a Shane Warne or against like Muralidharan, right? Why? That's called comparing people, comparing a product, comparing a business, comparing anything with the best in the class is called benchmarking. And then working towards meeting that benchmark. That means, boss, this is where I want to be. This is the best I want to be. And that is your benchmarking or meeting or breaking the benchmarks. Okay? Then we have brand. What is a brand? Brand, we know what is a brand is basically a specific asset that you have created. Apple is a brand, Samsung is a brand, Bisleri is a brand, Boat is a brand, Mama Earth is a brand, Oyo is a brand, right? Zomato is a brand, Swiggy is a brand. So these are brands. They have created their value. Brand equity is the value of your brand, right? Brand equity is the value of your brand that you have created out of that particular name, design, or people start valuing that thing. It's called a brand equity. Brand loyalty is that people do not move to a different competitor and they stick with you. That is called brand loyalty. People stick, like most of us have brand loyalty with our barbers, right? Like for girls who are going to a particular parlor, they would just go to that parlor itself. Boys who are going to a particular saloon or particular person to get a haircut, they just try to go there itself because they have trust. They feel ki, he or she knows how to cut my hair, he or she knows my style. That's called a brand loyalty that they create. That people feel comfortable and they do not easily want to switch. Okay. Brand recognition. People wear these t-shirts and jeans and shoes. Everybody wants to wear a 15,000 rupee Jordans, Nike. I don't know why, but 20,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees for a shoe. Brand recognition, so that people feel that, and these brands have created a recognition for themselves that people recognize, acha ye to Nike ka juta hai, acha this is a Reebok, acha this is an Adidas. Okay, this is called brand recognition. Business model is how does a company make money is called a business model. Is brand equity equal to goodwill? Yes. Intellectual property is a patent rights, logo, name, branding. These are called intellectual property, right? एयरटेल कैसे सरवाइव कर रहा है, जाके पढ़ो एयरटेल की केस स्टडी दोस्त, इंटरेस्टिंग है. ओके, नाउ business model is how does a company probably make money. Okay, the business model for Uber is they provide you cabs. That is how they make money, through commissions. Zomato through commissions, Swiggy through commissions. They are aggregators. Flipkart makes money by commissions from the sellers, right? That is how they're making money, or delivery charges from us. That is the business model. How do they make money is a business model. Business portfolio, you and me know chapter 3. B2B, business to business. Businesses whose customers are also businesses are called B2B. Businesses whose customers are also other businesses are called B2B. Businesses whose customers are direct customers are called B2C. Okay? B2B मतलब buyer to buyer. For example, Udan. Udan, the e-commerce platform, is a B2B platform. Flipkart is a B2C platform, business to customer. B2B is Udan, which is they're selling directly to wholesalers, to businesses. Okay. Buying behavior. People buy a lot of gold on Dhanteras during Diwali. That's a buying behavior. Cash discount, you know what a discount is. Competitive advantage, something unique you have over your competitor. Competitive position is, are you the business leader in the industry? Are you second? Are you third? Are you fourth? Are you in the top 10? Are you in the top 50? Are you in the top 100? That is your competitive position. Conglomerate diversification, unrelated diversification like Tata. Aeroplanes भी है, नमक भी है, चावल भी है, कॉफी भी है, राइट? आपका टीसीएस टेक्नोलॉजी सर्विस भी है और टाटा मोटर्स भी है. कॉन्ग्लोमेरेट loans, इसको बोलते हैं consortia. We have studied that, right? Consortium is a combination of several companies working together. It's called a consortium. Consumer markets, where people go and buy stuff. Cross selling is selling a car with a music system, selling a car with a power window or a sunroof is called cross selling. Okay. Customer demand, you know what's demand is. Loyalty, we talked about. Customer need, again, basic requirement of the customer. Customer satisfaction, if you feel good about a product or a service, you're satisfied. Customer wants, that means desires that a customer wants from a particular product, कि यार गाड़ी में हमारे वाइपर पीछे भी हो, वाइपर आगे भी हो, right? Or somebody says, in this particular shoes, I want the sole to be soft, or I want heels which are comfortable to wear, right? Or I want a dress which is comfortable on shoulders, or your collar chube na, piche the tag mujhe chube na. These are customer wants in a particular product, the desires on the customer, right? Differentiation, how do you create your product different from your competitor? Direct marketing, going to the person directly in the face and telling, listen, this is my product, please buy my product. That's a direct marketing. Okay. Distributor channel is like, are you selling on the e-commerce, online, offline, in shops, on the road, on the streets, in aeroplane, kahan bech rahe ho aap, right? That's called distribution channel. Diversify, again, we talked about in investment also, that diversify is dividing, creating avenues different. Okay. E-commerce, Flipkart, Amazon, economy of scale. That means the more you produce, the lesser is your cost, right? If if my investment is 10,000 rupees and I can make 10,000 units, that means 1 rupee per unit is the cost. But if with that 10,000 rupees, I can also make 20,000. The moment, because I have a fixed expense of 10,000 rupees to create a factory. Now, if I make 10,000 units, 1 rupee per unit. If I make 10,000 invest करके 20,000 units, 50 पैसे per cost आ गई. That's called economies of scale. When your scale increases, your cost comes down because your fixed cost remains the same. Only the variable cost starts increasing. Okay. External environment, कितनी बार पढ़ेंगे? पढ़ लिया हमने. Right? FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, Pepsi, water, chips, Lays, poha, sabun, chawal, atta, oatmeal, all these are fast moving consumer goods. Biggest brands in FMCGs are like Godrej Consumer, Tata Consumer, then you have Unilever, you have P&G, then many others, right? Kellogg's and all these companies are FMCG companies. Forecasting is expecting the future of a particular trend or events. You forecast that, okay? Innovator, you know, internal marketing is selling your product to your employees. It's called internal marketing. Okay. Now, joint ventures are when two or more companies come together. Generally, two companies come together to do a particular project. It's called a joint venture. Long-term objectives are objectives that are more than 3 years long-term, that I want to be the best company in this particular segment and it will take me 3-4 years. That is your long-term objective. Okay. Market development, that means developing awareness about a particular product, about, like, let's say protein powder. It is a market development story. People did not know about protein powders 5 years ago. Today, every single person consumes a protein powder in any like a lot of people are doing that. I wouldn't say every single person, but a lot of people are consuming protein powders and doing bodybuilding and all that. It's called market development. आज तक किसी को पता नहीं था, अब हर कोई करता है. That's a market development story. Market entry, if you're entering a new market as a new company, that's called market entry. Market leader, the topmost person in the market. Market positioning, we talked about. Market research is understanding the customers, the product, the competitors, is called market research. Market segmentation is you understand who are your real customers. You segment wise, men's section, women's section, kids section. Shop mein jaate ho, that's called market segmentation. Okay. Market share, that means out of the total industry, how much is your business? Let's say the total in education industry is $300 billion, out of which an academy has, let's say, $10 billion. So they have like what, 3% or 4% of the entire market. Okay. Market targeting, targeting the right customers with the right product and the right price. It's called market targeting. Marketing, again, that means creating awareness about your brand, product, your services. That's called marketing. Marketing mix are the 4 P's of marketing, which is product, price, place, promotion. And now we also have 3 more, which is people, processes, and physical evidence. So 7 P's of marketing, 4 P's, the common one, product, price, place, promotion. Okay. Marketing plan is how do you plan to market or create awareness about your brand and product, is called marketing plan. Mass marketing, doing it for everybody at one go on television. India Pakistan match ke time अगर कोई ad आती है, if there is an advertisement during India Pakistan match, that's called mass marketing. Or a lot of people, we get SMSs every single day, emails every single day. Make my trip sends you an email, a very good deal, go to Dubai at 10,000 rupees only. That's mass marketing. Merger, when company merges with another, right? Merge, mix ho jati hai. That's called a merger. Mission statement, right? Mission tells you how are you different from the other competitor. What do you want to do and how do you want to do that is your mission. Niche marketing is close knit marketing, refers to a very small group that I want to target the richest people of the country. That's called niche marketing. My marketing will only target the richest people in the country. That's called niche marketing. Okay. Or that then the next is opportunities. Simple, क्या पढ़ाना है? Personal selling, again, selling one to one, creating a relationship with the customer and then selling them a product. Preemptive pricing, जियो इतना लो प्राइस कर दो कि people get discouraged and the competitor is out of the market. Preemptive pricing, setting low prices in order to discourage new entrants, like Jio giving free, Jio Cinema giving free Big Boss, Jio giving free internet. ये सब preemptive pricing है मेरे दोस्त. ठीक है. Price of the product, price discrimination, right? Same water bottle inside the cinema hall 200 rupees, outside the cinema hall 20 rupees. Popcorn inside the cinema hall 500 rupees, outside cinema hall 10 rupees. Okay, that's called price discrimination. Bases the location, the same product, two different prices. Price elasticity of demand. If the price increases, demand falls. Price falls, demand increases. Inverse relation hota hai. It's called price elasticity of demand. Price sensitivity means if you change the price, how will the consumers respond to the price increase or decrease is called price sensitivity. So Indian customer in the world are the most price sensitive consumers in the world. Indians are the most price sensitive consumers in the world. If today anything किसी भी चीज का price बढ़ता है, Indians are the first one to say I don't need this product anymore. ठीक है, बहुत महंगा है, हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं है इसकी. Right? We are the most price sensitive consumers in the world. If you're buying a headphone for 1,000 rupees and you see another headphone for 850 rupees, it is highly likely you will buy an 850 rupees product and not 1,000 rupees product. That's Indian consumer, and that's fine. That's how we are, right? We're just understanding the concept that we are price sensitive. It's not bad. We are more concerned about money. That's bad that's bad for the company, not for us. As a consumer, it's a winning situation. I have option. Why shouldn't I pay less? Okay. Publicity. You know what a publicity is. Publicity stunts, right? Sales promotion, again, form of marketing, short-term objectives, reverse of long-term objectives. Stakeholders are everyone who is concerned with your company, banks, creditors, shareholders, employees, owners, like board of directors, government, environmentalists, everybody who is concerned with your business are stakeholders. Strength means power of the company. आपके पास, what is the strength of your company? It could be designing, it could be marketing, it could be product, it could be technology. Target marketing is again sharing a common consumer characteristic and then building onto that. Telemarketing, as the word says, on the television, on different modes of telecommunication. Test marketing, right? That means free sample milte hain, right? If you go to Big Bazaar, if you go to D-Mart, you would see sometimes people will come and say, ma'am, this is new nachos, please try karo. This is a new chutney that is coming into the market, please try it, is free of cost. They put those places where you can just taste and feel, and then they say, if you like it, you can buy it. There's an offer, buy one, get one free. So you can buy that as well. It's called test marketing. Okay. Threat, you know what a threat to a particular business is, right? A competitor is a threat to the business. Unique selling proposition, USP. Your USP is what? My USP is basically saying that, boss, this is what I do best. this is my unique selling proposition. The unique selling proposition of Dhoni, MS Dhoni, is he remains calm in every situation. That's a unique selling proposition. A unique selling proposition of Neeraj Chopra is he's super, super focused, right? Now, unique selling proposition for anybody, SRK could be is very humble and very witty. So the unique selling proposition of a particular person, a particular brand, or even for a product like McDonald's. McDonald's ka unique selling proposition is standardization. The unique selling proposition of Patanjali products is Desi, right? They're very Desi and they're very nationalist as a company. Everything they're doing is India based, is Desi, is organic based, right? That is their unique selling proposition. Weakness, we know what a weakness is. Yes, very good. Kamzori is your weakness. Cool. We'll take a break of a minute, look at the questions, and then go to our third topic, which is banking terminologies. Other than banking terminologies we have covered in financial, it's going to be a repeat, so it would be quick, right? What is price skimming? Price skimming is the reverse of preemptive pricing, where you charge a very high price to create a premium brand for yourself, right? So a new brand comes and they charge a very high price. I don't know, you have heard about this brand called Chumbak, right? They create very cool, colorful designs, bags and wallets and books and stationery, and they're very costly, right? They're not cheap. They're very, I wouldn't say very costly, but they're highly priced. That is called price skimming, so that people feel that अरे वाह ये तो quality product, ये तो महंगा product है, it's a good quality, it's a good investing company. हाँ तो अच्छा पैसा खर्च करती है कंपनी अपने डिजाइन्स पे. You create that image of the company through price skimming by charging higher prices to create a premium brand. That's called price skimming. Is OLX B2B? Yes, most of it is yes. Train ticket is price discrimination. कैसे? How is that price discrimination? Very no problem. I'm just glad you guys are joining while doing college as well. Kudos to all of you. Threats. थ्रेट्स क्या होते हैं? डोमिनोज के लिए पिज्जा हट थ्रेट है, जोमेटो के लिए स्विगी थ्रेट है, टाटा के लिए इन्फोसिस थ्रेट है, right? So it's a competition that a threat, or there can be SWOT analysis पढ़ा था ना हमने, or the government policy changes is a threat. For gaming industry, GST 28% is a threat. प्रेम वो सेशन कल के लिए है. I'm sorry. Okay. USP में पतंजलि आता है. They're known for Ayurvedic products. They're not known for Ayurvedic products. Who said they're for Ayurvedic products? They are for desi products. कौन सा उनका प्रोडक्ट आयुर्वेदिक है? They do not claim to be Ayurvedic. They claim to be Indian nationalist. That everything is India based. The money remains in India. We are investing in India, right? बीकॉम और सीए कैसे मैनेज करा कल बताएंगे प्रेम. ये सारे क्वेश्चंस लिख के रख लो, कल बात करेंगे इस पे. एशियन पेंट्स के लिए बर्जन पेंट्स एंड शालीमार. एकदम सही. दैट्स राइट. देयर थ्रेड्स. Awesome, Vidisha. You guys are fantastic. Joining while doing college, rushing between college and classes. मजा आएगा. When you become a chartered accountant and you sleep till 8 a.m. and do work from home, open a laptop at 10 a.m. enjoy your life, then you will remember यार कितना मजा आता था. We were out from home at 6 a.m. and we were back home at 12 p.m. मजा आता था. अभी बोर हो रहे हैं. ठीक है. पलक से हम तो एक भी दिन कॉलेज नहीं गए. पलक ये क्या करण जौहर का कॉलेज है आपका? ऑलराइट, ओके. पतंजलि बहुत पैसे बना रहे. ठीक है प्रेम, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टेलिंग अस. हमें तो पता ही नहीं था. Cool. Let's go to banking terminologies in the interest of time. Number one, acceptance. Acceptance, also known as banker's acceptance. You say, I have deposited a check. Bank says, yes, I have received the money. acceptance. Accepting house a special it's basic an organization within the banking system which helps or outsources the acceptance, all the checks, all the transactions कि हाँ भैया सब हो रहा है. Account balance, आपके बैंक में कितना balance है, that's called your account balance. Accrued interest, right? The interest that is accrued to you but not yet paid out. Interest has, you have earned the interest but they have not paid it out to you as right of now, that is called accrued. They have held the interest for you on your behalf, is called accrued interest. Administered rates, right? Basically these are rate of interest which can basically we can change contractually, right? अब contractually क्या होता है, change होते रहते हैं. Administered rates होते हैं between big banks and organizations. The floating rates keep changing. They are called administered interest rates. Okay. ADRs, American Depository Receipts, also known as ADRs. बहुत जगह आप सुनोगे, right? These are depository receipts, like basically which tells you like a specific number of equity shares हैं आपके पास. This is more an American concept, less in India, right? They're traded only in the United States of America, and they're done by big banks like HDFC, ICICI Bank, and like RBI also, right? Foreign US में trade होते हैं, American. They're more like bonds based on a particular what do I say, right? A particular equity share based thing, right? Just give me 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'll just go on hold. Okay. Hi, I'm sorry. There was some problem in my room. Just give me 1 second, right? Cool. So what we were saying is we were at ADRs, right? We were at ADRs, which is basically American Depository Receipts, also known as ADRs, which are traded by RBI and big banks and mostly done in United States of America only. Okay. लोग कह रहे 1 सेकंड हो गया, आ जाओ, आ तो गए दोस्त. Okay. Let's go to annuities. We have talked about annuities, which are annual payments that we pay for the companies, which are annualized things, which are accumulated on an annual basis, right? These are called annuities. Then automated clearing houses, like when these are basically organizations are nationwide, these are electronic based, I would say setups or organizations or houses which monitor that all the transactions are being done within the banking system in the right way, right? All the transactions are cleared, all the
Recording
and then
in
you
progress.
and then you need a loan again from July to December. But between those two loans, there is a 15-day period where you need money, but you do not have a loan. Okay. What you do is you do bridge financing. You take a 15 days loan small period to bridge the two loans together. That's called bridge financing. Okay. Cap. A cap is a limit that regulates the increase or decrease in the rate of interest and installment of an adjustable rate mortgage, which means it is the maximum. It's the maximum or the minimum that an interest rate can fluctuate. It's called a cap. It's called capping the interest rate. Either it can be a maximum or a minimum. So let's say the cap on interest loan cannot be is like 12 and 8. So interest rate 12 और 8 के बीच में ही हो सकता है. That's a cap. Okay. Cashier's check is drawn by the bank on its own name for any payment to any other organization. It's called cashier's check. Cash reserve, we talked about CRR, SLR, we know what a cash reserve is. Certificate of deposit like FD, right? Check, clearing, we have talked about clearing houses. Same as the clearing house, like we talked about electronic clearing houses. Same as your clearing house in an offline mode. Compound interest, interest on interest is called compound interest. It's calculated interest over interest over interest over interest, right? Cool. I think the video is back. People are saying it was buffering. I think now it is back and working super because I see my internet is green now. I think that was the problem. I was also going to check. The video is right. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and the screen is also visible. मेरा चेहरा दिखे ना दिखे, screen तो दिख रही है ना? You're able to see what is on the screen, right? Okay. People are not giving emojis, they're sending blank messages. What do I understand from that? Cool. I have one from Janvi. Thank you, Janvi. Cool. Let's go to deposit slip. So when you go to a bank and you want to deposit money, it's called a deposit slip. You fill this amount, this much currency, 500K two notes, 2000K two notes. This is what we are depositing. It's called a deposit slip. Depositor, the person depositing the money. Debt settlement, you pay off your loan to the bank is debt settlement. Debt repayment is you're paying the interest and installments. Debt recovery is you have not paid the amount, a bank comes and takes away your car and house. That is called debt recovery. E-cash, like UPI money in the bank, is called e-cash. Early withdrawal penalty is basically when there's a penalty that the bank levies because you have taken an early withdrawal from the investment. आप FD कराते हो, you go and do a fixed deposit for 10 years and you break that FD after 5 years, the bank charges a penalty. That's called early withdrawal penalty. Earnest money deposit is like token money that you give to your like agents or brokers. Same, that's called earnest money deposit. It's the token money. Expiration date, it's simple English. Education loan. Guarantor is the person who guarantees that if you do not pay the loan, I will pay the loan. Like your parents, they are the guarantors of your education loan. Okay. Installment contract, that these are the installments that you will pay. Interest rate, what it is. Internet banking, again, very simple. What is internet banking. Letter of credit is generally used in export and import, right? What happens is letter of credit, that bank says if the importer is not able to pay the money, the bank will pay the money to the exporter or the importer, right? So उनके behalf पे guarantee, जब exporter and importer की guarantee लेते हैं, when the bank takes the guarantee of an importer or exporter, it is called line of credit, okay, which is called LOC, line of credit, or LC बोलते हैं इसको generally, not LOC but LC, okay. Lock-in period, the period during which you cannot sell your in your securities, called lock-in period. So for example, I tell you, okay, I will give you 10 shares, I will give you 10 particular loan, or let's say 10 years ka loan, but you cannot exit this before 10 years. That is your lock-in period. You cannot exit a particular transaction between or before that period. That period is called lock-in period. Okay. Mortgage क्या होता है? Mortgage means गिरवी रखना. Collateral is called mortgage. Maturity, the time period it takes. Market value, what a market value is, the price that the market is willing to pay. Online banking, you use it every day. Overdraft, if you want money beyond what you have in your bank account, the bank gives you a facility of overdraft and it charges money for it. It's called overdraft and they charge money for it. Payee, the person who pays money. Pay is the person who gets money. Pay is the person who pays money. PIN, personal identification number. PIN डालते हो आप ATM में. That is your personal identification number. Repo rate, reverse repo rate, we have already studied. Syndicated loans, we have already studied. Smart cards are debit cards and credit cards. You swipe it, you scan it. These are your smart cards, right? Time deposits are FDs. They're called time deposits, right? Very good. Uh, Bad debt and NPA are same or different? Bad debts, NPA becomes bad debt. Bad debt बनने से पहले वो NPA बनता है, ठीक है? बट आजकल तो उल्टा भी है, पहले बैड डेट बनता है फिर एनपीए बनता है. देयर डिफरेंट लॉजिक्स बट अंडरस्टैंड दिस. बैड डेट इज generally non-performing asset is a bad debt only, ideally. Cool. Accrued and outstanding, almost the same. The word is different. Okay, लॉक इन पीरियड तो सेबी डिसाइड करता है या कंपनी कंपनी डिसाइड करती है? मैंने लोन पहले ही क्लियर कर दिया तो तब लॉक इन पीरियड? नो, दैट्स नॉट लॉक इन पीरियड. लॉक इन पीरियड इज जनरली बिटवीन सिक्योरिटीज एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट रिलेटेड लोन्स में लॉक इन पीरियड होता है. ओके, cool. Savings account is more for consumers. Current account is more for people who have business transactions on a daily basis. उनके लिए current account होता है. Right? Zero balance account is where you do not have to keep any balance. Zero balance पे भी आप कर सकते हो अपना banking. Zero down payment mortgages, basically they're high interest mortgages or subsidized loans where you do not have to pay anything upfront. The full amount is your loan amount, right? Like you go to buy a house loan, they say कि यार you have to pay 50 lakhs and the rest we will give you as loan. But zero down payment mortgage में ऐसा नहीं होता है. ठीक है. Let's quickly go to other business terminology as well. We have 15 minutes. Let's complete that in the flow. Acquisition. One company acquiring another company. Acquisition. As simple as that. One company acquiring another company. Acquisition. Bankruptcy. Right? A company goes out of money. There is no money. There is no assets to pay off the liabilities. It's called bankruptcy. Bottom line, net profits are called bottom line. When you look at the profit and loss statement, the bottom line is the net profits. Business environment, we have talked about this in chapter number 2. The business environment, what it is, all the external and internal factors. Business facilitators, chapter number बताओ कौन सा 4 में पढ़ा है? Facilitators of business organizations and aids to trade, non-funding funding, all of that. Corporate form of business organization, company, chapter 1 में पढ़ा है. We talked about company, one person company, dormant companies, listed company, public sector company, right? Corporate forms. Corporate governance is basically people or group of people, a system which oversees that there are no frauds, processes are in place, people are doing the right thing in the right way, the governance is right, the decisions are made right for the stakeholders. Stakeholders are not affected or impacted negatively by the decisions of the company. That's called corporate governance. Okay. Number 4, we have electronic commerce, e-commerce, Flipkart वगैरह हम सब पढ़ चुके हैं पहले भी. Electronic commerce, Udan, Meesho, Flipkart, Amazon, Big Basket, all these are e-commerce companies. Electronic filing, e-filing, like tax forms, GST forms, all of these forms are electronically filed on the internet. It's called e-filing. Globalization, we have already done, right? FDI, foreign direct investment, IFDI, inward, OFDI, outward. Okay. Goodwill. Goodwill we talked about today also, right? Goodwill is the value that we create for a brand. The brand value is the goodwill. Okay. Infrastructure. Infrastructure is all the roads and buildings and offices and houses and all these opportunities that the government is creating for factories and land for acquisition of development of iPhones in Chennai or Tesla cars here, Maruti plant in Manesar or a nano plant in Gujarat. These are infrastructure opportunities, right? Joint products, byproducts. ये तो हमने पढ़ा हुआ है costing में, right? We have already studied in 6th, 7th. Back in school days, the joint products are 2 or more products separated in the course, while byproducts are the waste products of a particular production process, right? Joint products, एक product से दो बन गए, that is joint. Now, byproducts are the wastage products which can also be sold as a different product. They are called byproducts. Liberalization, LPG policy, less laws, less stringent laws, ease of doing business is called liberalization. Logistics is basically the delivery, the system of delivering products from one place to another, transportation of goods from one place to the another. You want product from Belgium to your house, the entire system, you place an order, वहां से ship में आता है, ship से port, port से truck, truck से warehouse, warehouse से a small tempo, tempo to a shop, shop से आपके house. All of this process is logistics. Merger. Acquisition is one company acquired by another company. Merger is one company mixing with another company. It's merger, and that is acquisition. This is merger. Remember it that way. Okay. Mission we talked about already. Pestle analysis, the external environment analysis tool is called pestle analysis. And you have privatization. We have talked about privatization in depth. You had questions as also displacement, delegation, divestment, disinvestment, right? Proprietary form of businesses are sole proprietors, partnerships, right? These are proprietary form of business. that sole proprietorship and partnership are the biggest and the most common in the country. Returns and risks. We have talked about risk. We have talked about return on investment. The same concept comes here. SD, sustainable development. That means triple bottom line. We talked about this as well, right? हमने chapter 1 में पढ़ा है. It is not just about profit. It is about profit, people, and planet. Triple bottom line. Bottom line is net profits. Triple bottom line is profits, people, and planet. You have to take care of everything as a business, right? Term insurance, that means your life insurance. We were talking about that. Term insurance is where you give a premium every year to insure yourself for life, right? If something happens, your people who are left after you will get that money to support them. Triple bottom line, I just gave you triple bottom line: profit, people, and planet. It is not just about making money as a business, it is also about the people and the planet. Turnaround means converting or transforming from a loss making company to a successful profit company. People who have had attempts in chartered accountancy, next time you get a rank, next time you clear the examination, that's a turnaround that you do in your life, right? Vision is where you want to be in future, what kind of a company you want to be in the future. That is your vision. You want to be a tech company, you want to be the biggest player, you want to be the best company that customer wants to work for, that you're the best company that customer wants to buy or be connected with. That is your vision. Okay, how you do that is your mission. Whole life insurance is a contract between the policyholder and insurance ki bhai, whatever happens, right, they will pay the full amount of money as insurance to the people who are left after me, right? And that is your chapter number 6, my friend. Great. That is chapter number 6. इसके साथ आपका पूरा syllabus complete हो जाता है, my friend, right? And we still have 5 minutes. See, we are so much on time. What I want all of you to do now is, right, I'll take up questions anyway. All the doubts and questions, I'll clear that. That's my job. But what I want all of you to do is please spend at least an hour or so today, revise a lot of concepts, revise this entire chapter. Tomorrow is the last class. The syllabus is complete. For all of those in the first class, I remember a lot of people were asking, syllabus complete हो जाएगा? एक class पहले ही complete कर दिया, okay? But I want all of you to revise BCK. Tomorrow, I'm going to ask you a few questions, not many, but a few questions, but those are going to be tough questions, okay? I will ask those questions. We will keep the session short tomorrow, but we will only focus on you, your examination, you as a professional, what is lying ahead in chartered accountancy, where do you see yourself, what are the opportunities, articleship, resume building, life after becoming a CA. जो भी आपके questions हैं, I'm sure you have a lot of questions because you are very new to the course. You would have seen a lot of people becoming around you, but what it actually means and what it actually can give you an opportunity, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. With that, let's go for the last 5 minutes. Any questions, anything for those who understood everything? The class is over for you, but for others who want to stay and ask questions, I'm here. Cool. जवान देखी? नहीं सर, नहीं मैम, मैंने नहीं देखी. Okay. For men and women, children, physical disabled person, train ticket prices more or less in price discrimination. Can say so. Can say so. Okay. Super, Apurva. I'm very happy you enjoyed this ride in chapter 6. I also enjoyed. My voice is almost gone, but I enjoyed it. Your phone battery 1%, Mariam. Super. Charge karo, dost. Prasad, all these questions tomorrow about me and about you. I'll take all these questions itminan se tomorrow, right? I've just spoken too much today. Let's focus on the syllabus today. Tomorrow is going to be an open discussion session. We'll talk about all of this. Capital gains and non-business profits, more or so, yes, you're right. From the whole chapter or only chapter 6? Entire syllabus, friends, not just chapter 6. पूरे syllabus से पूछेंगे questions आपसे. Darshika, I'm also happy you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much. Why products are changed in the form of charge 999 and not 1000? That is a mental game. I don't know if you have read this book, because three digits, when you see three digits, you feel कि अच्छा यार 1000 रुपए से कम है. So they write 999 or 499. Your brain reads 4 first and not 5. Your brain doesn't consider it as a 500 rupees product. Your brain considers it as a 400 rupees product. Even though it is 499, your brain says चलो 500 से तो कम है. Under 500. So that is what they play with. Great frame. I'm happy that you like the class, and it helps you to feel it's a logical class. That was the motive. ठीक है बेटे, I'll watch this movie. Send me ticket के पैसे. Thank you. I want to go to that lounge and watch a movie for 1500. Please send money. Thank you. हाँ जी खुशी, आई एम फॉरनर. मैं हूँ आपका वहां से, इटली से हूँ मैं. आई एम फ्रॉम इटली. बाय मरियम, आपकी तो बैटरी खत्म हो गई है. Third chapter weightage. There is no weightage to any chapter, Vanshi. All chapters are important. छोटे छोटे तो चैप्टर है यार, इसमें भी वेटेज लोगे. नेक्स्ट क्लास एंटायर BCK, नॉट जस्ट चैप्टर 6. असद इंटर में बिल्कुल मिलेंगे. आई एम टीचिंग स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट इंटरमीडिएट. आई सी यू देयर. I'll miss you all as well, Indrajit, but I don't want to see you guys again in foundation. I always tell you, you should just see me once in foundation, clear your exams, and let's meet again in intermediate. Okay? I don't want to see you all again in foundation. Awesome, awesome, Disha. I spoke very fast but clear. That's the motive. It should be clear. What is YTC? Yield to yield to cost. That is return on investment. इंडिया में फ्री में फूड खिलाते हैं, वरना मैं तो सब खा जाऊंगी. ठीक है बेटे, वेरी गुड. सब खा जाओ, हम भी सभी खा जाएंगे, तो पेट निकल जाएगा हम सबका. Shweta, you're very demotivated. No problem. You shouldn't be concerned about. Shweta, like you have so many years. भाई अभी तो शुरू हुआ है. अभी तो it's just the beginning, right? And not everything will go as per plan. So it's just 6 months. You're not losing behind. Please don't be bothered about with your friends. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone will have their own sets of problems. So just feel good that just be focused and give your examinations, right? Also, I would really request all of you to please go and start building your network on LinkedIn. It's a fantastic platform for professionals. Find a lot of chartered accountants, connect with them, see what chartered accountants are doing, go and see what opportunities lie ahead. And please, please, please make sure you are building your social presence there. It will help you in the long term. I'll do repeat that tomorrow as well, but just that. And Shweta, please do not be demotivated. It's just an exam. एग्जाम है दोस्त एक सिर्फ, इससे इतना इफेक्ट नहीं होना है. There are so many other opportunities, right? And you never know what's in store after 5 years for you. You might be the next biggest cosmetics business holder. You might just start a company and that you would be a billionaire after 5 years. Nobody can see the future. So why are you concerned so much about the future? जो होगा होता रहेगा, लगे रहो. I know it's easy to give gyan, but that's the truth, right? I know it's easiest for us to say. You might feel demotivated. We all feel demotivated, but ज़्यादा load नहीं लेना है, right? And be present tomorrow. I'll tell you, but like what all I know about friends who have failed the examinations and they are working in Netherlands today. They are working in Australia today, and they have also failed in examinations in chartered accountancy, right? So the opportunities lie ahead a lot. Just don't be demotivated and be there tomorrow. We'll talk about that as well. That's an interesting and important topic. Consumer loyalty, you do not switch to the competitor, those that's your loyalty. Okay. Meaning of D2C, direct to consumer, like both they're selling directly to the consumer through Flipkart. Forex is foreign exchange. Perfect. Next foundation में BCK तो है ही नहीं, so we will see you in intermediate. Absolutely yes. No problem, Prem. धीरे धीरे सीख जाओगे. Right? Cool. Then let's meet tomorrow. Already 1 p.m. Go enjoy your Saturday. Revise. We will do some tough questions tomorrow and be prepared. We will talk about chartered accountancy, me and you, and what lies ahead. With that, let's wrap up for today. Thanks everyone for joining and have a great day. Take care. Bye.